What's up guys, my name is Axmist, and in this video I'm gonna start a new series on the channel. It's gonna be a scripting tutorial series. So yeah, and also thank you guys so much for 1000 subscribers. It's been insane, like I really appreciate it. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing we're gonna go over is modifying properties through a script. So right here we have a normal base part. Now this part has, as you can see here, if we click into view and open up properties here, as you can see we have brick color, we have material, and we have reflectance. Oh, you can't really see what that does, but it's not that important. It's just the reflectance of the sky. I can actually show you. There we go. And we have transparency and just a bunch of properties. So of course you can change them inside of the workspace, like when you're not running the game. But I'm gonna show you how to modify the properties for a script. So if we insert a script, not a local script, into the part, we're gonna start making the code. So here we're gonna start off by making a variable. Now a variable is, you can see it as, it's usually used to be a shortcut for something. So I'm gonna make a variable and name it part, and then the part is gonna be equal to script.parent. So now part is equal to script.parent. So we can modify the properties of part now instead of having to type script.parent. It's just easier and looks better. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna index a property. So maybe brick color. We can do part.brick color is equal to, so we set the part brick color to something, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do brick color, and then you have to do dot new, and there will be a bunch of colors here. I don't know, I can take like lapis for instance. So now it will set the brick color to brick color.new. That's how you get a brick color, and then you can use the type whatever color you have here. So lapis, I think that's somewhere here, yeah, right there. So now it's gonna turn blue. If we hit run, it's gonna turn blue because we have set that in the properties. So that's one really easy property, and then we can set the part of position. So part of position, and as you can see here in the position, if we open up the position, we have X, we have Y, we have C. Now as you may be familiar, the C is the Z-axis. So in 3D we have 3 axes then. So we have the C, which is that direction, so we can up C to 50 and it's gonna move over there, and we can change X to, I don't know, -10, it's gonna move over there. So that's what those properties does. To set a position, we will need to use vector 3. So part of position is equal to vector 3. Now as you may figure out, is that a vector 3 is going to consist of 3 different vectors: the x and the x and the y and the c. So that's 3 different vectors. As you can see, like you can kind of see them up here. If you look there, we have x and y and c. So if we used to, I think we can get them. Oh yeah, there. Wait, there we go. So vector 3.new, and then as you can see inside of those brackets, we have number x, number x, comma number i, comma number c. So a vector.new, and then we can type. So we're gonna set the x value. So the x value there is currently -2. So if I were to type this position into the script, that would look like this. That would look just like that. So we can actually put some spaces there. So yeah, you can kind of understand how that works. So I'm just gonna set some random numbers here, and as you can see, if we hit play, the part will actually move to our set destination. Now it dropped down since it's not anchored. That's having the anchored property checked is just it doesn't get affected by gravity. It stays in there, and it's well anchored. So as you can see, the part moved to our set position, and so that's some really easy properties. Now the we have right here something called orientation. If we rotate the part, we can see that the orientation changes. So the orientation is the rotation of the part. So we can set x to 100, and then of course this will also change because that's how. Don't worry about that. Anyway, so we have so that's just the rotation. We can do the exact same thing here. It's also vector free. As you can see, we have x, y, and z. So we can do part or orientation. So you got the vector free.new. Since it's still three vectors, it's the x, y, and z. So we can just put some random values there. And now if we hit run, this part is gonna have our set orientation. So that all works. Now I think we have gone over enough properties. So that's how you can mess around with properties. Just try them out for yourself. Like these properties, like transparency. I'm just gonna show you how you would change that value. You just do part of transparency equal to like 0.5, and then of course the transparency will change. As you can see, we can see through the part, and that's because the transparency is equal to 0.5. So mess around with all the properties, see how they work. Like size is the same thing as it's a vector free. So yeah, it's like so now I was thinking we could do, if we just open up a new part here, we could start doing some functions. So the first function I'm gonna show you how to do is probably the one of the simpler functions, and that's really useful. That's used really often. So if we insert a script, make a variable, as I said, part is like a shortcut. I can show you. Might as well type here like script.parent.transparency. I'm changing this part to transparency, but it's just easier doing part of transparency since we have already made a variable for that. So we're gonna do the same thing here since we placed the script inside of the part, and then we're gonna do part dot touched. So whenever the part is touched, we're gonna connect a function just like so. So whenever the part is touched, it's gonna connect a function, and then this code inside of these brackets is gonna run. So we can print part was touched. Then we can play and step on the part. Oh, I think we land. I think it moved a bit in the beginning. Anyways, if we walk on this part, as you can see, it prints part was touched since we touch the part whenever we walk over it. So there is something that you can use in those functions. So inside of these brackets, you can have something called I think parameters. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna show you how it works. So if we type hit in those brackets, or you can type anything really, I can type just A, but I'm just gonna do hit. I'm just gonna show you what it does. So if we click play now, as you can see, if we walk over this part, it's gonna print the name of the part that touched the part. So it's gonna print the name, as you can see here, left foot, right foot, because we touch it with our legs, and right foot and left foot. So what I did here was basically, since the part was touched, it also has information about what part touched the part. So then you can just connect. You can try this with any function, but most functions has some kind of parameter included. So we can type whatever here, it's still gonna work. So if I just type something random, we can type that in here, and click run. It's still gonna work, it's still gonna do the same thing. You just name the parameter to something that makes sense. Therefore I name it hit. So that's how like a parameter works. I can show you. We can print like part hit dot color, so we can print the part that touched the part color. So as you can see, it prints, that's a color vector. I don't know if they're called color vectors, but anyways, it prints the color. Yes, so it makes a bit more sense. We can print the brick color because that does not look like nonsense. As you can see, dark stone gray, because the base plate is colored dark stone gray, and light orange. I guess my feet's light orange, and yeah. So that's a parameter. I'm actually gonna show you how it kind of works. So as you can see, if I join the game, into the players right here, I'm gonna be added. So something gets added to the players. So I can do game.players, because the game is basically parent to everything. It's the game. So game.players.player added connect function. So we've been over this connect function, and we can print player added. Also, I'm gonna anchor this part so it doesn't print that thing in the beginning. But as you can see, it prints player added. If I click into it, you can see print. We had this print player added whenever our player is added. So this function fired. So now, as you may have guessed, this function is also gonna have a parameter. So as you can see, if I make a parameter called player right there, and I print the player, because it will print the parameter that we have right there. We can print player.name, and it's gonna say my name, and that's random_Vigga. And as you can see, that's all correct. And we can print like player.user ID. I think I'm gonna check. Yeah, we can. So there we go. We got everything like the user ID. So that's how parameters work. It's maybe a bit confusing in the beginning, but it's basically if there was any useful information that it can pass in this function, then the game is gonna do so. Basically, now there is only one parameter, so if we would put another parameter there, so we do a command, another parameter. Some events have more than one parameter, but this one doesn't, so I can do like second parameter. I don't know if they're called parameters. Let me know down in the comments, because I really want to know. As you can see, the second parameter is equal to nil. Nil is basically it outsaved. So second parameter is equal to nil. So what nil means, that's basically nothing. Nil means nothing, and it makes sense because it wouldn't make sense if the second parameter was equal to something, since the player is only the kind of important information I could see this event being used for. So yeah, there we go. Tested parameters. Now the next thing I'm gonna show you is how you use if statements. So statements basically. They can be used for various amounts of reasons. So I'm just gonna show you how it works real quick. So I'm just gonna open up a new script in the workspace. Why not? And we're gonna do like just to show you how it works. We can do if 2 plus 6 is equal to 8. By the way, whenever you check if something is equal to, you're gonna use two equal symbols, so like so. So if 2 plus 6 is equal to 8, then print 6 plus 2. 2 plus 6 is equal to 8. I don't know. We can actually have print 2 plus 6. So if I run this code, it's gonna print 8 because 2 plus 6 equals 8, of course. So that's kind of a really simple statement, but you get the idea. It checks if 2 plus 6 is equal to 8. If it is, then this code right here is gonna run. Now we can include something called else here. So if 2 plus 6 is not equal to 8, then we can print statement was incorrect or false. Well, of course, 2 plus 6 is never gonna be not equal to 8. So, but what we can do is we can change the 8 to a 9. If 2 plus 6 is equal to 9, which it isn't, we can print here and it's gonna say statement was incorrect / false. Now you may be wondering how you could use this. Well, I'm just gonna show you a kind of quick example of how you could use it. And we can rename this part to like touch part so we can so we cannot know what it is. Touch part. Now I'm gonna use a statement here. So if hit, so the hit part, if hit the parent, find first child humanoid, then print hit the parent has hit the parent has a humanoid. A humanoid is used in every character. It brings the character to life, pretty much. So every character has a humanoid. I can show you, like there I have a humanoid. So if I walk over here, as you can see, it's gonna print hit the parent has a humanoid. So let's see, we can see our left foot, or actually we can check that by doing like so. So we get the name of the hit. We have already been over the parameter. So we can do as you can see, the left foot was touched the part, and that makes sense. So left foot, the parent. So the parent of left foot is the character, right? So if character find first child, and find first child is just a way to it tries to find the child inside of wherever you have right there. So it finds the child inside of the hit of parent in this case, and it's gonna look for something named humanoid. And as you can see, the name of the humanoid is humanoid. So as you can see right there, humanoid. So if hit the parent find first child, so it finds the child. So everything here is a child of the hit the parent, the character. So hit find first child, and then whatever you have in these brackets is what it's gonna look for. So In this case, I put humanoid because it's gonna look for the humanoid. That's what we want. And as you can see, it prints hit the parent has a humanoid, which is the case. Now, why you would want to do this is maybe because you have some kind of damage script and you only want the player or whatever's on it to be damaged if it's a player, because otherwise the script could error or something. Then you can use a statement like that. And that's gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, then please leave a like and consider subscribing. If you want to join the Discord, then the link is in the description. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.